grandmother, in order to play mahjong with her friends, actually let her grandson go home alone. The little boy played with a ball while walking. As a result, the ball rolled into the middle of the road. The little boy was only focused on picking up the ball. He didn't notice a car speeding towards him. The next second, he was knocked down by the car. The onlookers quickly dialed emergency services to send the little boy to the hospital. At that moment, the little boy's father had just finished buying vegetables at the market. Just as he was about to go home, a hospital called him suddenly. Upon learning that his son had been in a car accident, he rushed to the hospital immediately. The doctor informed him that the surgery would cost $300,000. Since the man was merely a son-in-law and did not have such savings, in desperation, he had no choice but to call his mother-in-law to explain the situation. At that moment, his mother-in-law was at a wellness center enjoying a health treatment. She was completely unaware that her phone was ringing. At the same time, a scammer, upon seeing the gold bracelet on the old woman's wrist, immediately harbored malicious intentions. Then he began a performance comparable to that of a top film actor. He falsely claimed that he had grown up without a mother, and declared that seeing her was like seeing his own mother. The old woman, after hearing this, also claimed that she had no son. Immediately, she accepted the scammer as her godson. The scammer was so excited that he knelt on the ground and kowtowed repeatedly. As his performance neared its end, the scammer then began to peddle his product. He told the old woman that she could take the product home by paying only $160,000. The old woman, after hearing this, was ready to pay without hesitation. It was not until then that she noticed a text message from her son-in-law. But upon learning that her grandson had been in a car accident, she was not at all alarmed. Instead, she believed it was merely a ploy by her son-in-law to swindle money. However, she treated the scammer as kindly as she would her own son, and unhesitatingly paid $160,000. Meanwhile, the man, unable to reach his mother-in-law, was extremely anxious. In utter helplessness, he had no choice but to call his so-called wife, who was supposedly on a business trip. Little did he know that his wife was not on a business trip at all, but was vacationing out of town with her first love. After receiving the call, she scolded the man severely. The man hurriedly explained to her that their son had been in a car accident. Originally, he thought his wife would immediately transfer the surgery fee, but instead, his wife berated him harshly. She claimed that even if the boy was not his biological child, he should not have uttered such a curse upon the boy, and instructed him not to call again. Her words left the man in excruciating pain. He had always cared for the boy as if he were his own son, but now his wife was blaming him, leaving him filled with immense grievance. He rushed back home, searching everywhere for his bank card. He checked his account to see how much money was left. After checking, he discovered that there was only $2,000 left in his bank account. Helplessly, he had no choice but to call his wife again. Meanwhile, his wife was enjoying a candlelit dinner with her first love, even pretending to be drunk as she snuggled up to her first love's leg. Upon seeing the incoming call, the first love snatched the woman's phone. Only then did the man realize that his wife had betrayed him, but he did not rush to pursue the matter. He only hoped that his first love would return the phone to his wife. However, the wife continued to pretend to be drunk, snuggling in her first love's arms, until her first love hung up the phone, after which the woman slowly sat up straight. At the same time, the old woman noticed that it was getting late, and she intended to call her grandson to ask if he had arrived home safely, but she found that no one was answering the phone.